Hello everyone, my name is Andy B and this is a tutorial about my Thunderstorm add-on. If this is your first time working with Thunderstorm add-on, I would recommend watching the whole tutorial for a pleasant start. First you can download the add-on where you bought it. On Blender Market you can click on your name in the upper right corner and then select Orders. Here you will find everything you bought. There you can click on Go to Downloads to download your add-on from there. It is important that you do not unpack the file now. It should remain a zip file because that's how it is used by Blender. Once you have downloaded it, you can go to the Add-ons tab in Blender under Edit and Preferences. Click on Install in the upper right corner. Navigate to the Thunderstorm add-on and install it by selecting it and then click on Install add-on. Now you can see the add-on in the Add-ons tab. Activate it with the checkbox and done. The user interface of the Thunderstorm add-on is located in the viewport in the N menu. If you can't see the menu right now, press N on your keyboard or click on the arrow here to open the menu. Now click on Thunderstorm and you will see everything Thunderstorm add-on has to offer. It has the following subcategories. Thunderstorm. This creates a thunderstorm. Thunderstorm Settings. All settings for the thunderstorm can be found here. Add single lightning. Here you can create single lightnings or change lightnings that are in the thunderstorm. Cloud settings is for creating and manipulating clouds. Rain settings is for creating and manipulating rain and rain materials. With Create Thunderstorm, you can create a thunderstorm with one click. With the checkboxes, you can decide which elements should be added immediately. If you deselect Add Lightnings, a thunderstorm plane will still be added, but it will not generate lightnings. This can be activated at any time. What exactly is added here? Add Lightnings makes a plane which generates lightnings. Add Clouds makes a big box with cloud material. Add Rain makes a raindrop and a plane. The plane uses the drop as a particle. It also makes a wind force field which makes the fall of the rain a bit more interesting. All this is parented to an empty, so you can easily move and scale the whole storm. Only the lightnings will ignore the scaling of the empty, but not the location and rotation. In the outliner, some collections are created so everything has clear order for a good workflow. If elements are deactivated in the outliner, this will lead to problems with the add-on because newly added elements will be set active, which is not possible if the collection is switched off. The main collection is Thunderstorm Collection. Here you can find everything that was done with Thunderstorm add-on. In Thunderstorm Planes you find the Thunderstorm Planes created with Create Thunderstorm. You can find them there so that you have quick access to the planes at any time to edit the thunderstorm parameters. Under Thunderstorm you will find also the thunderstorm planes plus the lightnings created with Create White Playback plus the baked lightnings plus the thunderstorm empty to which the whole storm is parented. Every time you click Create Thunderstorm, a new thunderstorm collection is created here, so you can distinguish the different thunderstorms. Under Clouds, you will find clouds created with Thunderstorm add-on, even those that have only received the cloud material or the cloud modifier. Under Rain, you will find everything related to rain, so the rain particle, rain emitter and the force field. These parameters can only be accessed when a thunderstorm plane is selected. This is because each thunderstorm plane can have its own settings. There are no global settings. To find these thunderstorm planes easily, you can simply select the desired plane in the outliner under Thunderstorm Planes, or of course access it in the viewport. Here it can get a bit trickier if there are many objects, especially clouds, in the scene. With Alt left mouse button, it is also easier to access an object that is surrounded by many other objects. The first thing we see right away here are the presets. Here you can simply select a preset. To see what you like, it's best to just click through all of them and see what they look like. Under Thunderstorm Settings you will find 3 more sections: Storm Settings, Main Settings and Spline Settings. In the Storm Settings you can find the settings for the generation of the lightnings. First you can choose if you want to use the scene frame range or if you want to use another range. By default the scene frame range is used, the range that is specified in the timeline. Create while playback generates lightnings and deletes them again. The point of this is that it can be used to create infinitely long storms without taking up too much memory or affecting performance. It's also the tool to make all the lightning settings you want and see in real time what the changes bring. The chance is applied every frame. Higher numbers result in fewer lightnings, lower numbers result in more lightnings. And here you can specify up to how many lightnings can be created on a frame at the same time. But now it is so that it makes no sense to edit such lightnings because they delete themselves again. They are deleted on the first frame of the scene and after the specified fade out. For a normal project, however, you want to have as much control over the lightnings as possible. For this purpose, Bake Lightnings is available. For the overview, I would switch off Create while playback or set the flash count to 0 so that the viewport still looks nice with clouds. And now you can simply specify how many lightnings you want to create in the frame range and then press Create Lightnings. If you still want to change the lightnings with the parameters or just want to see a different random arrangement, you can press Update Lightnings. To delete all lightnings you can also enter 0 and press Update Lightnings. For the further settings I activate Create while playback again to see the changes immediately. Because the parameters are already optimized, I have a button to reset all parameters in the main settings. Ergo you can change as much as you want and come back to the default settings with one click. In the main settings there are again a few underheadings. Transform. Here you can find everything that has to do with transformation in the form of ranges that you can specify. Details can be found in the documentation or in the tooltips that you see when you hover the mouse over a parameter. Under Material you can find the material settings. What may seem a bit special here, I would like to explain. Remove splits first will remove all the splits from the flash once the flash is fully extended. The settings under Before Fully Extended are there to give the flash its material before it is fully extended. Emission strength is the light intensity after the flash is fully extended. The fade out parameters here are the same as in the transform settings. The reason for this is that the visibility turns off after the fade out. The fade out frames always start after the flash is fully extended. In point lights you can control if and how many point lights should be made on the lightning. This is a very important feature because in Eevee there is no interaction between emitting materials and the environment. With the point lights, however, this works perfectly. If you want to adjust the shape of the lightnings in detail, you will find everything you need in the spline settings. Again, there is a reset button to return to the original settings, or you can use a preset. The main spline is the main strand. The first splines are the first splines and the second splines are the second splines. All settings are taken into account by the Create while playback operator as well as by the Bake Lightnings and Update Lightnings operator. The best way to understand all parameters is simply to test everything out. Have fun with it and everything will be clear. In single lightning settings you will find almost the same settings as in Thunderstorm settings. This can sometimes be a bit confusing. It happened to me a few times that I made settings in the single lightning and wondered why I did not see the change in the thunderstorm. So if settings are not seen, this could be the reason. If one day you can use colors in the user interface, I will provide the tabs with different colors so that this confusion is eliminated in the future. With Add Lightning, a lightning can be added. With Update Lightning, the lightning is deleted and a new one is created, keeping the rotation, scale and animation. With this you can also change lightnings from the baked lightnings, if you don't like a lightning there. My recommendation for the updates is that you go to the fully extended part where you can see the shape of the lightning. Of course, you can also act on all animations as usual. Here it is simply important to note that as soon as a lightning is hidden, the animation also disappears because a hidden object cannot be active. The main and spline settings are the same as described in Thunderstorm Settings. What is added here, however, is lightning settings after creation. To use these settings, you can simply select the lightning and then edit it. If no lightning is selected, you will not see any parameters here. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the video and that now everything you wanted to know about it is clear. If you have any questions, please take a look at the tooltips or the Thunderstorm add-on documentation. If you can't find anything there, feel free to write me on Blender Market or Gumroad where you bought the add-on. Thank you very much for your interest. See you next time.